Good afternoon and welcome here to Live Field on the home of the St. Paul Schools here for this varsity MIAA matchup between the St. Paul's Crusaders and the Gilman Greyhounds. St. Paul's coming off of a loss their last game against Calvert Hall away 11-9 last Friday. The Greyhounds coming off of a loss against Loyola Blakefield at the end of last week. Max Levesque joined by Beckett Stevens. Beckett, what can we expect from this game today?
Yeah, it's going to be a fast-paced game. For St. Paul's, one of our key players we're going to be looking at is Josh Marson, the goalie, number 17, senior committed to Mount St. Mary's. He had a huge game against Calvert Hall last week with a lot of great saves. And then over here on the Gilman side, we're going to be looking at number 9, Jay Rogers, who is a senior committed to Johns Hopkins. And he's a key point in the Gilman offense, and he's really going to lead that team today.
We're going to be getting set to go here in about 8.5 minutes, but we will see you up in the booth. Thanks.
Sweet.
Again, welcome back here to Live Field at the home of the St. Paul Schools as we get set to take a look at a video here of some previous games, some previous clips from some of the St. Paul's Crusaders. And we are going to be getting set here in about 4 minutes and 45 seconds. We thank you here for joining. We thank you for joining us here on SPSN. Max Levesque, Beckett Stevens here with you today for this varsity lacrosse matchup between the St. Paul's Crusaders and the Gilman Greyhounds, as we get an opportunity here to look at the starting lineup for the Crusaders. Starting on defense, number 3 sophomore Ben Bowman. Rounding out the defense is the sophomore phenom, number 4 Evan March. Playing X-Attack, the senior number 5, Jack Intuano. Starting in goal today, as we mentioned, Josh Marson, number 17, the senior. To get the game started in about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Sunny day out here on Tulai Field in Brooklynville. Just a little bit of wind. Beckett, last game we were both at the Coward Hall game. Final score 11-9. Coward Hall coming out on top. What are some specific things that you saw from that game?
I noticed that, especially in the third and fourth quarters, the energy from the Crusaders bench was at an all-time high. And I repeat it over and over at every single game, but that's sort of the make or break for this Crusaders team. If they don't have energy, if they don't have momentum, then likely they're not going to play well, they're not going to win. So I think the biggest thing is just energy and keeping energy high, even if they are. He's on there right now.
In just over a minute, we will be getting set here to get started. We'll be back in a minute. Both teams getting set here to take the field. Again, Crusaders looking to get back in the win column after their tight loss to the former #1 team in the nation, the Calvert Hall Cardinals, just last Friday away in Towson. Crusaders were taken down 11-9. It was a quite close game for most of the match. Just after halftime, the Cardinals came out of the half firing, went on about a 4-5 goal unanswered streak, and the Crusaders were trying to claw their way back into the game, just ran out of time. Starting in goal for the Greyhounds today, number 0, the senior goaltender, Zach Parks. He will be heading to Colby College next year to play his collegiate lacrosse. He will be in between the pipes for the Greyhounds, looking to keep this talented Crusader offense off the score sheet. Opening face-off between Thomas and Joe Kim. It's on mine. Sorry. Kim, a talented face-off man in the junior class, currently committed to the University of North Carolina, up against Thomas. Thomas has been doing well all season. This first one won by Kim across the midfield line. Paxton in pursuit of him. Kim bringing it into the offensive end, giving it up to Rogers. Rogers to slow it down, get it behind to Ward. Over to Cranston. Now here's Graham. Graham guarded here by Paxton. Back to Cranston. Cranston to go at Bowman. Bowman loses a stick. Cranston still open here. Rogers with the ball to the backside. The shot there saved the shot from Graham, seen all the way by the senior goaltender. Josh Marson picking right up where he left off in the Calvert Hall game. Another big save. Crusaders looking to clear here. Bowman with the ball, getting met right at the midline. Bowman getting past his counterpart. Bowman into the middle, looking for Cook. Pass unable to be handled. Parks looking to pick it up off of his stick and in. So a little bit of a garbage goal there early on for the Crusaders to open up the scoring. Bowman into the middle looking for Cook. That one bounced around right off of the stick of the senior goaltender and trickles into the cage. So Crusaders up 1-0. Kim back at the X here against Thomas. Thomas gets this one out to himself, able to pick up the ground ball. Antuano now with the ball here. His first touch of the game will be guarded today by the senior defenseman, P.J. Hogue. It's Bear, Bowman, and Vizcarrondo out of the box. Bear with the short stick on him now. Vizcarrondo pulling the pole so far. Vizcarrondo will carry down the right alley. Winstead on him. Vizcarrondo to his left hand. Gets the pick by Bear. Vizcarrondo around the goal. Shoots and scores. Able to beat Parks high. Great pick at goal line extended there by Bear. Give Vizcarrondo an opportunity to come around the cage with that strong left hand. Always seems to want to get to that left hand. Finally found some space. He struggled a bit this year with his shooting. A lot of goalies seem to have been having his number, making great saves on him. This one gets past Parks, though, and his first shot of the day goes in. Thomas gets this one out to himself, hits off the leg of one of his wing players. March in the middle of the field, picks up for a moment. Bowman out of the restraining box now with a great pickup, now heading the other way. Fast break opportunity here. Elder to Antuano. Antuano down to Lauer. Lauer unable to catch the ball. Now on the end line here, picked up by Schlein. Schlein with pressure on him. Able to find his teammate up the field. That's Winstead. Rogers with the ball. Now to the backside. One more pass to the inside. The shot, Marson. McCormick, fast break opportunity. McCormick with the step down, just misses wide. Lauer with the backup. Another great save there by Marson. Able to match the stick of his defender. Here's Cook. Early on, just taking a look at this Crusader offense. Looks like Bear will be locked off by the short stick. We saw this a lot in the beginning of the season between St. Mary's and John Carroll. I believe John Carroll was the last game where it happened. But Bear here behind the goal now, able to get away from his defender and has the ball with the short stick. Slide will come early. Bear with the ball. Now to Berger. Berger to his right. Slide comes. One more pass to Cook. Cook with the shot, just misses wide. It's Fiola, the senior short stick defensive midfielder who is tasked with guarding Bear today. Face guarding him on the inside. Antuano, the trigger man behind Bear, heading behind the goal to play two-man. Here's Antuano to his right, gets the pick by Bear. Antuano with his hands free, comes around the goal, shoots and scores. How many times have we seen that this season? Number 5 extends the lead for the Crusaders now by 3. Back of the X here between Kim and Thomas. Thomas on a win streak here, winning his third in the row. Bowman, Vizcarrondo, and Bear coming out of the midfield. Bear, the last to make his way onto the field again, will be picked up as soon as he comes out of the box by Malfa this time. Here's Vizcarrondo down the left, back to his right hand. The step-down shot with the right hand misses wide. Back up, won by Bear. Looked like Malfa was closest to the ball when it went out. The officials disagree with the Greyhound coaching staff. Bear to pick the ball up off the end line. We'll have Malfa guarding him behind, so this is the time where the slide is going to come extremely early from the Greyhounds. Look to be Schlein on the slide. Here comes the slide. Bear still with the ball. Now to Vizcarrondo, backside to Bowman. Bowman down the left. Left hand free, shoots, just misses wide, hits the Greyhound defender on its way through. Cook able to pick up the ground ball and a reset, not a reset of the shot clock, hit the defender, not the goalie or the goal. Here's Antuano being pressed out extremely far from the defender, Hogue. Pass inside to Bowman, shoots and scores. Bear and Antuano typically get a lot of the talk within the MIAA, but if you're a teammate of one of those guys, you really love to see them with the ball because it opens up yourself off ball a lot. You see Lauer do it a number of times this year. Bowman there. They draw a lot of attention, so the slide's coming early. Bowman able to find himself open on the backside, and the step down to extend the Crusader lead now to 4. 7:29 left in the first period. Timeout taken by the Greyhounds. We'll be back in a minute. Coming out of the Greyhound timeout, back to the X here between Thomas and Kim. Thomas currently 3 for 4 on his faceoff so far. A big part of why the Crusaders are currently up by 4 goals. They've had the most possessions. Marson also doing a great job in cage, keeping the Greyhounds off of the score sheet. This one, loose ground ball here right in the logo. Thomas with another nifty pickup. Kim knocks it away momentarily. Elder able to pick this one up, trying to run away from pressure. Kim with the hit after Elder throws that away. Ball on the ground here, picked up by Antuano, and he will settle it down there. Another great pickup there by Peyton Elder. Had an incredible game against Calvert Hall. Big struggles for the Crusader face-off men against one of the best face-off men in the country for the Cardinals, Ben Cuomo. Elder doing a great job. Typically gets tasked on getting thrown out on the face-off wings a lot. Picked up a lot of tough ground balls. The Greyhounds now go into a zone. Here's Antuano behind the goal. Crusaders have not seen this too much this year. A lot of teams typically stay in the man-to-man. Lauer up top now. Here's Antuano. Antuano with the wheel. Up to Bear. Back to Antuano. 18 on the shot clock. Cook on the backside. Cook with the step down. Just misses wide. That's 2 that Connor Cook has had good looks at. Just misses. He missed high the first one. That one just bounced wide. Look for this. If he gets another opportunity at it, for this one to hit the goal. Antuano behind the back to Bear. Bear wrap around. Good defense by Malfa. Aintuano, shot clock running down to Bear. Bear with the shot. Reset of the shot clock. Run out one by Parks, though. Does not matter. Great save there by Parks, his first of the game. Greyhounds look to clear for the first time today. Schlein with the ball. Looking to run away from Bear. The pass inside, running it over the midfield line. Great play there by White to get it to Rogers. Back to White. Nathan with the ball now. Over to White. White looking to get it to Rogers. O'Day comes through with his stick, picks up the ground ball. Bowman with the pickup back to O'Day. Now up the field to McCormick. McCormick looking to get past his defender. Another great defensive possession there for the Crusaders, getting another takeaway. Here's Bowman with the ball. Vizcarrondo over the midline. Luke Bear will be the last to come on. Here's Vizcarrondo with the step down. That one just misses high. Backup will stay with the Crusaders. Here's behind with Lauer. 5:02 remains in the first period. Aintuano hands-free shoots, just misses high. Back up to stay with Lauer once again. 46 on the shot clock. Greyhounds continue to stay in this zone. Sitting back, allowing these shooters to take shots from the outside. Aintuano to Bear. Inside pass to Vizcarrondo. Unable to be caught last off of the Crusaders. Ball back to Schlein and the Greyhounds. Here's Schlein carrying up the midfield. Pass into the middle. Able to find Malfa. Back to Malfa. Bowman playing good defense on him. Malfa still with the ball. Bowman pressing way out. Able to get away from Bowman. Icewort with the ball now. Over to Graham. Now here's Rogers, guarded by March. It's a great matchup. Rogers looking to get to his left hand. Looks to go to his left hand a lot. Here's Nathan. McCormick guarding him. Slide comes by Clary. Now Icewort. Dotson guarding him. Icewort looking to get to his left. Here's Graham. Graham down the alley. Stutter steps, rolls back. Back to his left. Now behind with Ward. Ward looking for a cutters. Ward back to his right hand. Here's Graham again. Graham to go at McCormick. Looking to get to his right. Rolls back to his left. Slip. Slide comes. Splits the slide. The bouncer misses high. And as the shot clock expires, the Greyhounds just throwing the ball to the corner to try and set up the clear.
I don't want to jinx it, but the Crusader defense has been playing phenomenally so far, especially compared to their past games. And if they keep that up, hopefully they'll be good for the rest of the game.
Here's Dodson over the midline, able to stay in bounds. Aintuano with the ball. Same midfield line to come on. Vizcarrondo, Bowman, and Bear last out of the box. Bear picked up by Fiola. Here's Bear going at the short stick. Flag down. The pass inside to Aintuano. Aintuano back to his left. Shoots. Good save there by Parks. Now on the ground here, looking to be picked up by Lauer. Aintuano able to pick up his own miss. Free possession here as the flag is down. The pass to the backside to Bear. Unable to be caught. Still on the ground here. Bear able to pick it up with his hands free with the right. Shoots and scores. Crusaders had a free play as that flag was down. So Aintuano trying to thread the needle through the defense to Bear on the backside. It was originally not caught. Bear able to pick up his own drop and get his first of the day. So 1 minute full time here. I believe it was for a cross check. So this will be a man-up face for Thomas. Currently sitting 4 for 5 on face-offs. Looking to continue the win streak. Vizcarrondo and Elder on either of his wings. This one won by Kim, though. So they are man down. Kim not shying away from the goal, going right towards the goal. Shoots, saved there by Marson, and a flag is thrown while Kim is shooting. It looks like Elder will be the one to go to the box. Kim not shying away at all from going to the goal. Had a step on his defender and going right through the defense. Good save there by Marson to continue to keep the Greyhounds off the score sheet. But for the next 48 seconds, it will be even strength playing 5-on-5. Rogers will start with the ball. It will be Elder to go to the box for a minute penalty. 48 seconds, they'll play 5-on-5, and then the Greyhounds will be a man up for the remaining 12 seconds. Here's Graham. Graham down the alley with his left hand. Takes the shot, just misses wide. Back up to stay with the Greyhounds. Nathan to start with the ball off the end line, guarded by Langus. Here's Nathan to go at Langus. Nathan down the right alley, hands free, shoots and scores. Greyhounds finally able to beat Marson. Almost a full period gone. Last goal there by number 22, the senior, Nathan Kutako. Back to the X here. Kim with the last face-off win. Almost scoring. Thomas continues to come back out to the X to duel with Kim. A holding violation called on Kim. So the Crusaders with the ball back. 17 seconds remains on their man up. Doubt they will go towards the goal much here. Just settle it up and try and play 6-on-6. Vizcarrondo with the ball to give it to Bear. A minute and 30 seconds left in the first period. Here's Cook. Cook to his left hand. Now to Lauer. Behind the back pass, Stein Tuano. Back to even the strength here. Behind the back to Bear. One more to Atkinson around the goal. Atkinson with the bouncer, misses high. Cook with the backup, though. Cook to Lauer, unable to be caught. Moving towards the midline here. Bowman unable to keep it over the midline. Ball was originally picked up there by Cranston. Playing without the stick, called on the Greyhounds as Bowman checked the stick away. March, quick pass over the midline to Vizcarrondo. So the Crusaders to get the ball back. 57 seconds here in the first period. Here's Antoando to carry. Greyhounds back into their zone. Here's Vizcarrondo. Slide comes on him, checks the ball away. Parks with the ball. Give it up to White. White over the midfield line. 29 seconds left on the clock. White to Rogers. Rogers with the left hand. Saved there by Marson. Out to March. 20 in the first period. March spinning away, getting over the midfield line. Shot there. Misses wide, and the run out to stay with the Greyhounds. The long shot over towards the goal, picked off by Marson. Back the other way. Hits off the stick of Schlein, almost goes in. Parks was out of the goal, anticipating trying to catch that ball. That one almost goes in, but the time expires here in the first period. St. Paul's up 5-1 over the Greyhounds here on Tulay.
Good afternoon. This is Charlie Farrell with the St. Paul's Varsity Lacrosse Sideline Report. Currently, against Gilman here, it's 5-1. Crusaders are up. They've been doing really well. One thing Coach wants them to sort of lock in on is just shooting more goals, right? The one main thing he's been talking about is just taking shots. They don't really, I mean, ideally they should be on goal, but he wants them to be sort of less anxious about that. And defense has been doing great. I haven't gotten to see too much of them just yet, but hopefully the Crusaders keep up the way they've been playing and they'll get a dub today. Thank you. Back to you guys.
Both teams get set to take the field here for the beginning of the second period. Thomas for the Crusaders against a new face-off man, the sophomore Tommy Malfa. So Kim on the sideline here to not take this face-off. False start violation called on Malfa, so another win for Thomas. Elder with the ball now, bring it into Crusader offensive zone. Elder running away from his defender. Defender trips. Here's Bear out of the box. Bear, Atkinson, and Viscarando. Bear down the alley, still with the short stick now behind the Lauer. Lauer, Cook, Tuano, Bear, Atkinson, and Viscarando out of the midfield. Here's Antoine behind. Pass over the top to Viscarando, unable to be caught. Schlein with the pickup in the middle. A great look there by Antoine, the pass up the field. Caught there by Cranston.
It's okay.
Viola with the ball.
What's it?
Kutaku over the midfield line out of the box. Iceworth the last to cross the midfield line, guarded by Dodson. Here's Kutaku, guarded by McCormick. Back to Iceworth. Rogers is the go man. March stepping out on him. Rogers down the right alley. Pass across crease. Wow, what a great look there. And an easy goal for the senior midfielder, Griffin Graham. Just too easy there for the Greyhounds. That pass there seen by Rogers, threading right through the Crusader defense. Kim comes back out to the X here to go against Thomas for the Crusaders. Clary and Elder on either of Thomas's wings. 10:38 left in the first half. St. Paul's up 5-2. Thomas won the clamp. Kim doing a good job of not allowing Thomas to get out of there. Thomas still able to pick up the nifty ground ball. So great work there by the senior Fogo to not give up on the play. And the ball is thrown away there by Elder. Ball back to the Greyhounds as they look to clear the long pass all the way up to Fayola. Graham making his way, streaking through the middle. Fayola to slow it down. Has Elder guarding him, awaiting the offensive personnel. Here's Cranston, flag thrown. It's going to be on Elder, I believe. Didn't see it there. Becca, did you see what the flag was? Looked like it was thrown right after Elder crossed the midfield line, trying to beat the Greyhound player off of the field. March takes the ball away on the ground here, picked up by Iceworth. March pressing way out. Iceworth trying to run by him. Here's Kutaku on the backside. Up to Rogers. Dodson guarding him. Rogers looking to get back to his left. Now to his right. with the bounce shot, misses high, and it'll go out of bounds. The play called dead on the flag. So it's McCormick who will go to the box for 30 seconds on the offsides. Must have crossed the midfield line too early before Elder made his way over the line. So McCormick serving the 30-second penalty, 9:18 left in the first half. Crusader man down, March, Clary, O'Day, Bowman, and Langus. Marson still in the cage for the Crusaders. This one checked away by O'Day. He got a piece of it. Picked up by Clary. Clary running away from the Greyhounds attackman. The pass inside to Antuano, shoots and scores. What a pass from Clary. Antuano picking the juice up a little bit for his guys. Clary making a great play on the defensive end, turning it into offense for the Crusaders. Kim back out to the X against Thomas. It's been a great duel all day.
Thomas 7 for 9 currently. Seems to be winning this game.
That last one, unable to win the clamp, but continued to not give up on it and was able to win the ground ball. This still a man down face-off for 1 second. Back to even strength here. This one's still on the ground here. Over towards Thomas. Thomas and the Crusaders somehow able to come out with the tough ground ball. It was a 3-on-2. Boudreau, Bowman, and Bear for the midfield. Bear the last to come on. Bowman with the ball now. The Greyhounds continue to settle back into their zone. Here's Cook. Schlein guarding him. Here's Bowman in the middle. To the backside to Antuano. Antuano looking to find Bear. Back to Bowman. Here's Cook. Lauer behind. 40 on the shot clock. Cook to dodge at the zone. Bowman. Antuano. Antuano to his left. Behind to Lauer. Bear with the rollback. Good defense being played here by White. Bear to his left hand, slips and falls. Drops the ball as he slips. Now going the other way. Here's White. Bowman trying to beat White back on defense. And the pass to find Carpenter, and he will slow it down. Here's Chaney with the ball. Maloney on the field. Vesley also on the field. Here's Chaney. Around the goal, the pass inside, unable to be caught. Gets all the way out to Rogers. Rogers lays a big hit on Marson after he comes out of the cage. The flag is thrown. As the play's over, the Crusaders walking over to Rogers, has some wards for him. Marson came out of the goal to pick it up. As Marson came out of the cage, it was Rogers who laid the hit. It was too high, though, in the helmet. Would not be surprised if this is a cross. Does not look like it's going to be a cross check to the head. Just a cross check, though. So Rogers getting away with one in the box for a minute instead of the 2 minutes. But 5 seconds remains in the half, so the Crusaders will hold it so they do not have to take a face-off. As the clock expires here in the first half, St. Paul's currently up 6-2 over the Greyhounds. They will be man up to start the second half with 50 seconds remaining on the man up. But we will be back in a moment. officials still talking over here. It might not be halftime, possibly a clock error. So officials talking over with the coaching staff. I do not remember exactly how much time was left, but I believe it was more than just a few seconds.
Is this where it stopped at 6:46?
Yeah, I was going to say 6:50.
So let's put.
Officials now up in the press box looking it over in the live stream.
We had a goal, or no? So
Last play was the penalty on Rogers.
60 on the shot clock.
So the officials to put 6 minutes and 46 seconds back on the clock. So very confusing play here as there was a clock error, so the time ran out. There's 6:46 left in this first half. St. Paul's still up 6-2. As they will be man up, I'm not sure. Most likely going to award some time back on the extra man, as Rogers still in the box. Thanks to SPSN, the officials able to get the clock right. Coming up into the press box, looking over the live stream to figure out how much time was left. So 50 seconds on the penalty time, 6:46 left in the first half. Rogers in the box for the next 50 seconds. Lauer, Bear, Atkinson, Vizcarrondo, Aintuano, and Cook on the Crusader extra man. Crusaders were all the way in the locker room. Would not be surprised if some of them already had their helmets taken off and were starting to talk over some halftime points. Got brought back out of the locker room. Here's Vizcarrondo, unable to catch the skip pass once again. Picked up by Atkinson, though, to find Aintuano. Aintuano passes inside to Lauer. Lauer right on the goal. What a save there by Parks off of his leg. Kept it out of the cage. Thought for sure it was a goal. Lauer doesn't typically miss those. Lauer with the loose ball push on Fayola to give the ball back to the Greyhounds. Lauer was just outside the crease, though. He's typically 100% from that area. And a flag is thrown there. Most likely on Lauer. I'm not sure if it was a slash or an offsides. So all back to even strength here. Here's Rogers. Guarded by March. Rogers shoots with his right hand, just misses wide. Ball goes out of play, so the officials will call it dead for the slash on Lauer, so he will go to the box for the next minute. 5:35 left in the first half. St. Paul's up 6-2 over Gilman. Officials just waiting for the scoreboard to be correct. So second opportunity of the day here for the Greyhounds. Extra man. Here's Graham. To Carpenter. Here's Graham. Skip pass to Kutako. Great save there by Marson. It was the step down from Carpenter, the bouncer. Marson able to sniff it out down low. Here's Langus across the midfield line, has Clary. Langus chooses not to throw this one, takes the step down. Timeout taken by Coach Senembrino. Before Langus' shot was taken. So the Crusaders will have the ball. 5:05 left in the first half. Crusaders still man down for the next 30 seconds as Lauer continues to be in the box off of the slash penalty. Beckett, Marson had such a great game against Coward Hall and was a big reason why the scoreline was so close for most of the game and ended 11-9. So very close scoreline. How big does it play for the Crusader defense to have a goaltender that they can trust behind them that's making big saves?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's one of the biggest things in the game. Even if a team's scoring a lot of goals, if their goalie can't save anything, they're unlikely to win. So having a good goalie and a goalie that the defense can trust, not only on saves but also on clears, is a huge part of the game. And Marshall is exactly that.
Marson started the season and preseason in a bit of a goalie war with his teammate, sophomore goaltender Garrett Elder. Coach Tenebrino, Coach Benzing were unaware of who the starting goalie was going to be. They went back and forth, trading times, basically splitting even time in preseason. Marson started every single one of those games. Elder typically coming in at halftime. Marson just able to beat out Elder slightly in, you could say, the goalie war and earned the starting spot full time. He has started every single game so far this season and has been a big reason in the Crusaders' successful record this year, and especially in the last couple games and so far today, keeping the talented Greyhound offense only to 2 goals. Coming out of the timeout, the ball to start with Bear, as they will be man down for the next 30 seconds. Greyhounds look like they're going to try and double the ball. Cook with the ball. Move it behind to Aintuano. Aintuano being pressed out by the defender. Aintuano around the goal with his left hand, shoots and scores. So even though they're man down, Aintuano still running past his defender and slotting another one. Lauer still in the penalty box here for the next 18 seconds. For those who are unaware of lacrosse rules, the penalty, if it is releasable, can be released after the team that committed the penalty is scored on. So the Crusaders, just because they scored, does not take away the penalty. Here's White with the ball, so they are still man up for the next 6 seconds. White on the inside, runs through the defense, shoots and scores. A great play there by the junior defensive midfielder, Cabot White, knifing through the Crusader defense and beating Marson to his offside high. Substitution here for the Crusaders. Cormac O'Day making his way to the sideline, talking it over with Coach Setembrino, senior defenseman Ben Lichter, number 10, coming on to join Bowman and March at close defense. Kim and Thomas back at the X for another battle. This one picked up here by Fiola. 4:30 left in the first half. Ward to slow it down with Malfa. Graham, Kutaku, and Malfa will stay for this first line midfield. Here's Graham. Now to Kutaku, guarded by McCormick. Kutaku to his left. Still slow playing it now. We'll give it up to Malfa. Dotson to step out on him. Slide comes by Lichter. Kutaku to go at McCormick. Looking to his right. Back to his left. Hands free. Takes the low shot. McCormick able to disrupt the shot on its way through. It'll miss wide, but the backup will be won by Harrington. Now up top to Graham. Paxton pressing out. Back to Ward. Ward sweeping across with his right hand. Now to Rogers. March getting through the pick. Rogers looking to get to his left hand. Great defense being played here by the sophomore. The pass inside. Harrington shoots and scores. It was Bowman who was ball watching. The backdoor cut. And a goal there by the junior. So another sub here for the Crusader defense. Bowman, the sophomore, coming out of the goal to talk with Senabrino and Coach Benzing. O'Day back into the game, so now it's O'Day, Lichter, and March. Marson still in the cage. Thomas and Kim. Thomas able to win this one himself. 3:20 left in the first half. Antoine to come and get it from Thomas. Bowman, Boudreau, and Bear out of the midfield. Atkinson will stay on as Lauer still on the bench here for the Crusaders. Here's Boudreau. Over to Cook. Antoine. 50 on the shot clock. Antoine has this defender hung up. Antoine to Bear. Atkinson. To Boudreau. To Cook. Antoine once again. His defender not stepping out and playing him. The skip pass was looking to get to Boudreau. Not enough to get there. Lichter with his stick over the midfield line. Picked up there by the Greyhounds. Still with the ball. Trying to get away from three players. A great individual effort there. Now going the other way. Harrington will pick it up, and the timeout taken by the Greyhounds. A great timeout by the Greyhounds coaching staff. .221 remains in this first half. St. Paul's up 7-4. We'll be back in a minute. Coming out of this Greyhound timeout, they will have the ball. 2:21 remains in the first half. The Crusaders still with a 3-goal lead. The ball to start with Graham over on the far side of the field. He will be guarded by McCormick. Rogers with the ball now. Over to Carpenter, now behind with Harrington. Guarded by March. The pass was looking to get to Iceworth off of his stick, rolling towards Cook. And the over and back called on Cook, or excuse me, called on the Greyhounds, so the ball back to Cook and the Crusaders. Two minutes remains in the first half. Berger, Bear, and Vizcarrondo out of the midfield for the Crusaders. Berger with the ball now to Bear. Here's Antoine. Atkinson on the sneak. Back to Antoine. Greyhound still in the zone. Berger. Now to Cook. Cook with the step down. Hits the outside of the net. Picked up here by Parks. Greyhounds looking to clear. 14 seconds to get over the midfield line. Bear trying to win it back. Dislodges the ball out of the stick of Fiola. Now goes out of bounds. Last off of the Greyhounds. Here's Cook with the ball. 1 minute and 19 seconds left on the clock in the first half. Berger back out of the box. Antoine to Bear. Bear with the shot off of the helmet of Parks, popped way up in the air. Cook will pick it up, and a timeout taken by Coach Senabrino. 1 minute and 3 seconds left in the first half. St. Paul's up 7-4. Beckett, the Crusaders don't look to be too comfortable seeing a zone on the other side of the field with the Greyhound defense. What are some ways that the Crusader offense can beat this zone?
and hopefully trip up the defense and confuse the defense. Yeah.
We've seen it a couple times. We saw it on that last play. Aintuano carrying from the top left position almost like a wheel. Bear slightly towards the inside, just above the crease area, popping out. Aintuano throwing it back to Bear. Bear was able to get a shot off on the last one, but they seem to continue to go back to that. We saw a few nifty behind-the-back passes from Aintuano, Bear, and Lauer here on the other end of where they currently are playing, but that's a play they're going to want to continue to go back to, but the Greyhounds are doing a good job of keeping the Crusaders off the score sheet. They scored a good bunch early on, going on that 4-0 goal-scoring streak, but since they dropped into the zone, not too much luck here for the Crusaders and settled 6-on-6 play. So Cook with the ball on the far side, 1 minute and 3 seconds left in the first half. St. Paul still up by 3. Cook, Vizcarrondo, Bowman, Bear, Aintuano, and Atkinson. Bear with the ball now. An open set here as Bear makes his way towards the crease. Aintuano to Bowman. Now to Cook. 45 on the clock. 40 on the shot clock. Here's Bowman. Pass inside to Bear. Looks like the Greyhounds are back in their man. Cook to the inside. Slide comes. High shot there on Cook. No flag. As a save by Parks. Now going the other way here with Faola. Excuse me, this is Malfa to Rogers. Ward on the backside to slow it down. 17 on the clock. Graham out of the box. Icewort to join. Here's Graham down the left alley on Paxson. The double comes. Ball on the ground here right outside. Gilman player hits the deck. It's Rogers. Believe it's going to be a push called on the Crusaders. So 1.2 seconds remaining. Ward's going to have to throw this right towards the goal, right towards Rogers. Caught, shot, saved there by Marson. Great play there by Rogers even just to handle that pass. But nonetheless, time expires here in the first half. St. Paul's up 7-4 over the Greyhounds. We'll be back in a minute.
All right, hi, I'm Matthew Creamer here with SPSN. Today we're, watching the Gilman St. Paul's lacrosse game. We heard kind of in on some timeouts here. Listening to Coach Set, pretty fired up. No matter how they're playing, he's just a fired up coach. He's got a lot of heart for these guys. Tell them to kind of come over to the top side. Defense, struggling a tiny bit here for them, and they want them to make more shots. We're going to see how this really pans out for St. Paul's here. Without further ado, back to you guys.
the Calvert Hall game, looks to be coming out and taking this face-off. All season we've been seeing him get majority of the face-off reps, splitting some of them with the other face-off man, Beckett Ballinger, the junior. Both struggling, like I mentioned earlier, against Calvert Hall face-off men, Ben Cuomo. So as we get set here, it's Kim and Thomas back at the X once again. Kim winning this one forward to himself, face off right towards the goal. The shot there misses wide, back up to stay with Ward. Same starting lineup as the beginning of the game. Ward guarded here behind by O'Day. Here's Cranston carrying up to Kutako. Here's Rogers to go at March. Rogers been quiet today, just had that one pass. Graham spins to his left. Bowman on the slide. Now to Cranston. White with the quick first step on the run, shoots and scores. What a great play there by the junior. Getting past his defender. Extremely shifty dodge to get right through the middle of the Crusader defense, scoring that one low and away on Marson.
Here we have Thomas and Kim at the X again. Thomas now 9 for 13. Kim 4 for 12.
Now the St. Paul's lead only 2 goals. Thomas getting this one out to himself, looking to pick up the ground ball. Pops in the air. Elder in pursuit. Still trying to pick it up. Elder trying to kick it out of the pile to himself. Elder hits the deck. Clary in there as well. Clary able to pick it up right near the sideline. The combination of Clary and Elder on either of the two face-off wings is legit for the Crusaders as they pick up a lot of very tough ground balls. Almost identical to the one we just saw there. Bowman, Bear, and Vizcarrondo out of the box. Here's Bear, guarded by Graham. Bear continues to draw the short stick. Bear with the slide. The skip pass to Lauer. Now to Antoine. Schlein guarding him. Here's Bear to go at Graham again. The pass to Cook. Inside to Vizcarrondo. Vizcarrondo with the wraparound shot. A great body save there by Parks to keep it out of the cage. Nifty move by Graham to get away from Cook. Antoine trying to stop Graham as Graham runs over Antoine. Puts a shoulder down. One man clear here for the Greyhounds as the senior runs it through everyone. The pass inside to Schlein. Great individual play there by number 3 in blue. Kutako to slow it down. Chaney and White joining the Greyhound offense. Rogers moving it behind. Cranston to give it up to Ward. Here's Ward. The pass inside to Rogers on the cut behind the back. Shoots and scores. Way too easy for number 9 in blue. They always look to try and get him the ball. We mentioned him before the game. Huge frame. Cutting through the middle, though. Great find there by the junior Ward. And the nifty finish there behind the back from the senior heading to Hopkins next year.
Cutting the Crusaders lead down to 1. Ballinger and Kim at the X.
Ballinger taking his first face-off of the day. Kim winning this one to himself. So a mixture of face-off wins and saves by the Greyhounds, willing them back into this game. Scoring on this possession will tie the lead here. 9 minutes remains in the third period. Here's Cranston to go at Bowman. Cranston down the left alley. One more behind to Ward. Ward able to keep it in bounds. Chaney will give it to Rogers. Rogers being guarded by March. Rogers with his left hand shoots and scores. Down off the bar. Tying the game up here at 7. Back-to-back goals for number 9. We mentioned it a little bit in the Calvert Hall game, how this St. Paul's team can have a lot of energy and then be quickly deflated, and I would say this just happened once again as the Greyhounds, after their last 3 goals, have all the momentum now. Thomas back out to the X, trying to bring the momentum back to the Crusaders. Elder with the pickup, still able to get out of 3 Gilman defenders. Flag thrown, so free possession here for the Crusaders. Elder with the ball to Antuano. Kim trying to play defense on him. Antuano running away from Kim. Atkinson over the midfield line. Bear joining. Here's Bear. To his left. The quick slide comes by Fayola. Bear to his left. Skip pass to Cook, gets knocked down. Cook able to handle it. Back to his left. Here's Bear. Fayola stepping out on him. Again, a free possession here. Antoine with the shot, misses high. And another man-up opportunity for the Crusaders. Heading to the box for the Greyhounds, the senior Matthew Fayola. Excuse me, officials were wrong. They changed it now to number 8, the junior Cabot White, to serve the minute slashing penalty. So the man-up will start in the bottom right corner here with Cook. Cook, Vizcarrondo, Atkinson, Bear, Antuano, and Lauer. Same man-up unit as previous. Here's Atkinson to Vizcarrondo. To Cook. Back to Bear. Vizcarrondo top center. Vizcarrondo with the step down, gets blocked on its way through. Good stick there by Carter Snow, the junior defenseman. .44 seconds left on the extra man. Vizcarrondo to Cook. Back to Vizcarrondo, behind to Antuano. Tuano to Lauer. Lauer being pushed away by Snow. Ball dropped again, picked up by Snow. Now heading the other way. Snow over the midfield line. Vizcarrondo in pursuit, trying to win the ball back. Vizcarrondo taking hacks at Snow's bottom hand. Timeout taken by the Greyhound coaching staff as Snow was under a lot of pressure. The Greyhounds still have all of the momentum coming out of halftime on a roll here. Tied up at 7, and they will be man down for the next 15 seconds, trying to run this clock out. 7:01 remains in the third period. Tied up 7-7. Coming out of the Greyhound timeout, ball will start with Rogers. Greyhounds still man down for their remaining 9 seconds. Kutaku with the ball now, just holding it out near midfield. Crusaders not going to double the ball with such little time left as the penalty now expires back to even strength. White, the one who served the penalty, back out of the box. He has the ball now, going against Dodson. White, super quick down the left alley. Behind, one more to Ward. Now to Rogers. Rogers and March going at it. March the inside roll with the left hand, shoots and just misses wide. Here's Ward. The trigger man off the inbound, guarded by O'Day. Ward to his left hand, looking for a cutter. Ward still with the ball here, gives it up to Cranston. Now to Kutaku, top center, guarded by McCormick. Kutaku down the left alley. Doesn't have a look at it, continues. Kutaku still with the ball. The pass to Graham. Graham fakes, goes underneath with the right hand, just misses high. Back up to stay with Ward as the flag is thrown. So a cross check
On O'Day.
called on O'Day. A little bit of a soft call, though. I don't love that call from the officials. Must have been as the shot was going. But a cross check will send the sophomore Cormac O'Day to the box for a minute. Here's Graham. The step down, shoot, and a goal there from Maloney. Too easy there for the junior. Time and room. Not much Marson can do there as he stings the top shelf.
8-7. Gilman leads now.
First lead of the day for the Greyhounds.
Just under 6 minutes left in the third period. Thomas and Kim at the X once again.
Violation called on Kim. Will finally get a win back for the Crusaders and Thomas. Crusaders really need to score on this possession. Not just for the scoreboard, but for also the morale in this game. Crusaders morale down a bit right now. Bear with the ball. To Antuano. Antuano behind with Atkinson. Atkinson one more to Cook. Cook unable to catch it. It goes right near the midfield. Over the midfield line. O'Day trying to pick up the ground ball. Trying to spin out of it. We'll flip it to Bowman. Bowman will get it to his brother over the midfield line. So an unforced turnover there. But they will get the ball back here with Bear. A fresh shot clock. 36 on the clock, did not reset. No change of possession. 4:55 left in the third period. Antuano with the ball. Greyhounds will stay in their zone. Atkinson to Cook. Here's Antuano to Cook. Cook with the step down, shoots and scores. Picks the close corner. What a shot there by the sophomore. Back to 8-8 here on Tulai. Thomas back out to take the face-off here against Malfa. Second face-off Malfa has taken of the game to give Joe Kim a little bit of a break on the sideline. Paxton and Elder on either of Thomas's wings. Thomas looking to win this one back to himself. Falls able to still get up and pick up his own ground ball. Great job there by the senior. Here's Cook going the other way. Now to Atkinson. Atkinson to slow it down to get it to Antuano. Viscarando onto the field. Bowman joining him. Bowman, Bear, and Viscarando. Here's Cook to Atkinson. Backside to Bear. Eintuano. Greyhound still in the zone. One more pass to Bear. Bear with the step down, shoots and scores. Just like that,
Wow.
the Crusaders have the lead once again.
9-8 Crusaders, 4 minutes left in the third period. What a shot.
I would say that's one of the first times all season that we've seen the Crusaders go down and regain the lead just as quick. Typically, if other teams start to go on a scoring streak, some things start to fall apart. But Crusaders, hopefully learning from their past mistakes, regain the lead once again. Kim to win this face-off against Thomas. Moving pick called on the Greyhounds, though, so the ball will go back to the Crusaders. Cook with the ball. Same midfield line as before. Bowman, Bear, and Vizcarrondo. Here's Bear. To Eintuano. Eintuano guarded by his club teammate Harrison Schlein, the senior, heading to North Carolina. Here's Bear with the rollback. To his right hand with the jump shot. Shot there. Good defense being played by the junior. Atkinson to Bear. Eintuano gets it to Cook on the backside. And a reset of the shot clock blown dead by the officials. Look, Cook had a great look at it right before the officials blew it.
Not looking happy about that.
Atkinson to the backside to Bear. Eintuano to go at Schlein once again. Gives it up to Bear. Bear fakes the shot underhand, slips and falls. Flags being thrown. It's going to be a trip. And it goes out of bounds. So it's Weinstead that'll go to the box for a minute on the tripping penalty. So big opportunity here for the Crusaders to extend their lead to 2 goals with the extra man. Here's Atkinson to Vizcarrondo. Cook. Eintuano. Bear. Bear to go underneath. Bear with the shot, the bouncer.
The bouncer.
Able to get it past Parks and extend the lead for the Crusaders back to 2 goals. So the Crusaders now with the momentum back, trying to continue to extend their lead over the Greyhounds.
I talked about it earlier, but energy is a big thing for this team. If the energy's bad, they'll play bad. If the energy's good, they'll play good. And I would say, even though they had that short time where the energy was low, they're definitely back now, definitely feeling it, and hopefully can use that to their advantage.
It all starts here at the X between Thomas and Kim. Thomas has not exactly been dominating, but does have the upper hand so far. Kim trying to turn that around as he wins this one. Gets through both Crusader defenders, takes the shot, just misses wide. Back up to stay with Ward. Here's Cranston. Over to Graham. Utaku on the field. Out of the box. Here's Cranston to go at Bowman. Cranston over to Malfa. Malfa looking to get to his left hand. Dotson playing defense. Malfa on the step down gets trail checked there by Dotson as the slide comes from Bowman. Misses high. Backup will stay with the Greyhounds and Ward. 2:17 left in the third period. Kutaku. Guarded by McCormick. Kutaku to his left hand. Right down the middle. Shoots. Good save there by Marson. Rebound to Malfa. The rebound right to Malfa as he shoots and scores. So Greyhounds trying to claw their way back into the game. Now only down 1 goal. Thomas looking to get to out to himself. Looks like he was held slightly there by Kim.
And it looks like Peyton Elder's down on the field there.
Elder is down. Officials blow it dead. Elder looks like he might have slipped as he was going towards the faceoff, trying to pick up that ground ball. Might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. Hopefully that's all it is. Still down on the field here as he is checked out by the St. Paul's athletic trainer. .156 remains in this third period. Elder able to get up and jog off the field on his own. So that's a great sign. Ball will start with Ward behind here, guarded by O'Day. Now to Cranston. Graham will receive. Looking for Rogers. March pressing out. Back to Cranston. Cranston down the left. Back to his right. Here's White up top, guarded by Dodson. White has a few of his own today. Looking to get down the alley. Good defense being played by Dodson. Behind the goal now with Ward. The skip pass inside. Looking to get to Cranston. Cranston gets met by Dodson and Bowman. And the flag is thrown there. As it looks like it's going to be Bowman heading to the box. So a 1 minute slash on Bowman will give the extra man opportunity to the Greyhounds. 1:27 left in the third period. This penalty will almost run out the entire time left in the period. Here's Kutaku. Now to Maloney. Graham. Officials blow it dead to make sure the clock is right. Here's Maloney. Now to Kutaku. Maloney has the last goal on the last man up for the Greyhounds. They were trying to get it to Carpenter on the ground here. Lichter trying to win it back. Picked up by Graham. Now Graham in the unsettled. Has Maloney on the backside. The skip pass to Maloney. Maloney with the shot. Just misses wide there. Had a great look at it. Was looking to hit the bottom right corner. 27 seconds left on the extra man. 53. So officials blow it dead again to add 2 more seconds to the clock. 55.3 seconds left in the third period. 27 left on the penalty.
The clock's not starting and stopping right. All right, we're trying. It's not starting and stopping right. I'm working on it.
Still waiting here for the clock to be set correctly. 55.3 seconds is the time that the officials are looking to get put up. Adding 2 more seconds to the penalty clock as well. So 29 on the penalty clock, 55 on the period clock. So
Just do the second one.
Here's Rogers behind. Guarded by McCormick. To Kutaku. Maloney. Graham. Skip pass was looking to get to Kutaku. O'Day got his stick in the middle of it. This one to stay in bounds. O'Day running all the way out towards the end line, and a flag is thrown on the officials. Coach Tenebrino is livid with the officials, saying that should be no call. O'Day got a stick in the passing lane, and this one stayed in bounds. O'Day was running all the way to the corner. Had a good hit on Kutaku, and the officials throw the flag on it.
You want to delete the first one? Yes.
Waiting to hear the call here from the officials. Okay, so instead of a cross check up high, it's an illegal body check on O'Day. So he will be in the box for a minute. 15 seconds remains on the Bowman penalty. So 37 left in the third period. Crusaders down 2 men. Douglas comes into the game for the Crusaders. The pass was looking to get to Carpenter on the backside. Clary will pick it up, fling it up the field to find Lichter. Now to Douglas in the middle. Douglas drops the pass, still down here. The ball is caught and going the other way here by Maloney. Ball on the floor here. Douglas trying to pick it up as this will roll out of bounds. Nine seconds left in the third period, and Carpenter will just hold it in the corner as time expires here in the third period. There are 20 seconds left on the Greyhound man up, so they will start the fourth period with the ball, no face-off. St. Paul's currently up 10-9 over the Greyhounds, but we are getting set here to start the fourth period in just a few minutes. St. Paul's up by 1. We'll be back in a minute. Beginning this fourth period, St. Paul's up 10-9 over the Greyhounds. 12 minutes left in the game. There are 20 seconds that remains on the O'Day penalty clock, so the Greyhounds will start with the ball and be man up for the next 14 seconds. Here's Kutaku to Carpenter. Skip pass to Maloney. Now to Graham. Graham back to Maloney. To Carpenter. To Graham. Graham with a step down, just misses wide. Run out will stay with Rogers. Back to even strength. As the penalty is expired. White makes his way onto the field. Lichter still out there. Here's Graham. To go at Clary. Graham with his left hand. The bouncer just misses wide. Rogers with the backup once again. Rogers will be the trigger man off the end line, guarded by March. 11-14 left in the game. Rogers looking to get to his left hand, initiating contact to the right hand, back to the left. The bouncer saved there by Marson, reading it off the turf. The pass up the field to March. Cook will give it to McCormick. There is a change here for the Crusaders. Bear has moved down to attack. Antuano has come up to run out of the box at midfield. One of the first times we're seeing this all season. March making his way off the field. Antuano crossing the midfield line. Receiving the pass here from Vizcarrondo. Here's Antuano to Bear. Bear with the step down. Good save there by Parks. Off of his leg towards the sideline. The run out will stay with the Crusaders, and Cook reset of the shot clock. So fresh 60 seconds off the shot from Bear. Here's Cook to Antuano. Antuano with the slide to Atkinson. Atkinson looking for help to Bear. Bear against his club teammate. Schlein, the left-handed shot, finds the top corner from Bear. St. Paul's now up 2. 10:05 remains in the game. That's a big goal there from the Crusaders and Bear.
And like I said earlier, if they keep this energy up and don't get down mood-wise, I think they have a pretty good chance of sealing the deal here. Thomas and Kim at the X again. Thomas now 13 for 20.
This one's still on the ground here. These are the ones that St. Paul's typically has been winning all season. Here's Elder. Kim looking to pick this one up. A lot of pressure from Elder. Loose ball push on Elder. We'll give the ball to the Greyhounds. White with the ball now. Graham joining him. Kutaku will be the last sub. Here's Cranston. Bowman guarding him. Cranston back to the right hand, looking for Rogers. March pressing out on there, denying the pass. Here's Cranston to the middle. Slide comes by Paxton. The flip, looking to get to Rogers. March almost had it. The one more pass to Graham. The shot hits the outside of the goal. And Marson will pick it up and look to clear. Dump it off to March. March back to Marson. Marson under some pressure. Here's March. Has Vizcarrondo over the midfield line. Picked off there by Rogers. 3 St. Paul's players right near the sideline. Picked up by Bowman over the midfield line. Able to flip it to Bear. Great play there by Bowman. Here's Bear going the other way with Malfa on him. He'll slow it down. 8:45 left in the game. St. Paul's up 2. That was a big play there. Almost a failed clear. Rogers picked it off, but Crusaders doing a good job to win it right back. Here's Antuano. To his left. Antuano had a shot, opted not to take it with the left hand. Here's Bear. Schlein guarding him with the pick from Antuano. Bear to his right hand, shoots, just misses high. Backup will stay with Atkinson. 60 on the shot clock. A long offensive possession here for the Crusaders. Looking to continue to run this clock down with the 2-goal lead.
Up top with Antuano.
Here's Tuano to his left. Slide comes quickly. Good defense being played by Malfa. Antuano still with the ball. Now to Cook. 30 on the shot clock. Cook back to the left. Now to Antuano. Tuano to the right this time. Right off the pick. Good save there by Parks. Up the field here to Schlein. Has an opportunity if he catches it. Bowman making his way back to stop the fast break. Here's Schlein. Going at Bowman. Trips and falls. Able to keep possession though. And give it off to Graham. Here's Kutaku. The one more to Rogers. Rogers with the step down, picks a corner. Great shot there from the senior. Trying to keep his team in it. Only down 1 now. One of the biggest face-offs of the game right here between Thomas and Kim. Paxton and Elder on either of Thomas's wings. Looks like Thomas was being held by Kim. No call, though. Picked up by the Greyhounds to get it to Rogers. Ward to slow it down to get it to Kutako. Iceworth coming out of the box, guarded by Dodson. Here's Iceworth to his right. Moving it behind here to Cranston. Excuse me, this is Harrington. Now to Graham. Graham to go at Paxton. Graham to his left. Slide comes. Back to his right. The pass inside to Ward. The shot high. Scores!
And Gilman once again tie it up. 6 minutes left in this last quarter, 11-11.
Great possession there by the Greyhounds. A little slip off the inside from Ward. Found the soft spot in the Crusader defense. Changing the levels on Marson to tie it up at 11.
And once again, Thomas and Kim back at the X, battling out like they have been all game.
Thomas trying to win this one. Kim using his legs to try and back into Thomas. With holding called on Thomas, so the Greyhounds with the ball. Kim with the ball will give it up. Here's Graham with the ball and an opportunity for the Greyhounds to take a lead. 6:08 remains in the game. Here's Rogers to go at March. Rogers back to his left. Now to Kutako. Crusaders go into the zone. Kutako to his left. The pass inside. Caught by Harrington. Checked away there by O'Day. The pass into the middle. Ward hits off the crossbar. McCormick picks it up off the crossbar. Has the ball momentarily. Drops it. Now into the middle right. Ward trying to pick it up. March somehow comes out of the pack with the ball. And finds Dotson all the way up the field. What a look. Now going the other way. They have numbers if they want it. Opts to slow it down here. Right play called by Dodson. The 4-year veteran makes the smart play when it matters. Great defensive stand there by the Crusaders. Here's Antoine out of the box. Now to Cook. Atkinson. Back to Antoine. Cook trying to get to his left hand. Easy switch there for the Greyhounds. Cook to go again. Back to the right. Now to Antoine. Antoine with the step down. Shoots, just misses wide. That was a great look there. Almost hit Atkinson with the shot. Atkinson with some slick moves to get away from the Antoine shot. Here's Antoine again to his right. Unable to be caught there by Cook as it'll go out of bounds. An unforced turnover and a really bad time for the Crusaders.
Yeah, that's for sure. Sort of crunch time here with the teams tied and just under 5 minutes left in this game. Every pass counts, every play counts, and that could really determine the game right there.
4:35 remains in the game, tied 11-11. Greyhounds have to try and clear the ball. The crossfield pass in the stick of Pollard. Finds Parks in the middle. Parks with Antoine pressuring him. Here's Bear. Into the middle to White. White across the midfield line untouched. Flag is thrown there on Cook, as Cook will be offsides. Really bad time there for the offsides. Chaney will give it up, and the ball hits the ground. Dodson will pick it up. So when it gets to crunch time, extra man chance here for the Greyhounds, as Cook will go to the box for 30 seconds offsides call. Crusaders can not fall asleep here. Really need to stop and get the ball back to their offense. Watch Maloney on the far side, number 2. He had the goal earlier in the day where he picked the top corner. Very talented outside shooter. He has the ball now. Now to Kutako. To Carpenter. Carpenter to Maloney. To the backside. Open shot. And a goal there from Sam Newmanberger, the junior. Just lack of rotation there from the Crusader man down. Didn't even look like there was too much movement going on by the Greyhounds, but Newmanberger found some soft space in the backside of the Crusader man down and brings the Greyhounds back on top. Now up 12-11. This one's a must-win for Thomas. Gets it out to himself when they need it. Thomas has came up big this season. And we'll get it to Antuano. And Coach Set talking it over with Coach Av. Chooses to take the timeout. 3:15 left in the fourth. Gilman up 12-11 over St. Paul's here on 2 Live. We'll be back in a minute. Coming out of the Crusader timeout, the ball will start with Antuano here on the left wing. 3:15 left in the game. Fresh 70-second shot clock for the Crusaders. Currently down 1 goal. Antuano, Vizcarrondo, Cook, Bowman, Bear, and Atkinson. Bear with the ball now. To Antuano. Has Malfa guarding him. Antuano to the left. Back to his right. Chooses not to take the shot. Back to the left. Pass to Atkinson. Now to Cook. Cook with a step down. Shoots and scores! Finally, Cook able to put a shot on frame, and it goes in, beating Parks down low. Tying it up at 12.
This game is neck and neck. Just under 3 minutes left in this final quarter. We'll see what happens.
Thomas and Kim back at the X here on the St. Paul's logo. Been the story of the game. Elder and Clary on either side of Thomas's wings. Thomas won the last one to himself.
Looks like he got the clamp.
Kim possibly could be kicking the stick in there. Looks like he's trying to back it up. Withholding called on Thomas, though, at a bad time. Greyhounds will have the ball here with 2:35 left in the game. White will give it off to Griffin. Crusaders in need of a stop. Here's Rogers at March. Rogers is slow playing it. We'll give it up to White. White looking for Kutaku. McCormick pressing out on that. Here's White to go at Dodson. Dodson playing great defense on him, forcing him out towards the alley. Here's Harrington. Now to Kutaku. Kutaku to go underneath. Back to the right. McCormick sees it all the way. Slide comes there by Clary. Now to Ward. Back to Kutaku, top center. Here's Graham. Graham to his left. Back to his right. Pass inside. Great pass there. Shot and a goal. An unneeded slide there from the Crusaders. A great look there from Graham inside. And a goal from the junior White. Regaining the lead for his Greyhound team. 1:48 left in the game. Gilman up 13-12. The Crusaders got it last time when they needed a face-off win. Can they do it again? Thomas, a lot of pressure on him. He's been doing great all season. This one gets popped out in front. Kim will look like he'll pick up the ground ball. Antuano out of the box trying to win it back. Kim hits the deck. Antuano to pick it up. Gets knocked out again. Antuano will pick it up as Kim was on the ground as he'll limp off the field, and a timeout taken by Coach Sedembrino. 1:32 left in the game. Gilman up 13-12. Crusaders will have the ball after this timeout. Kim won the faceoff, then got tripped up and lost it. Great job by the Crusaders with not giving up on the play, winning the ball back. It's been back and forth all game. Other than the beginning, St. Paul's coming out with, I believe, a 4 or 5 goal lead right out of the gates, holding the Greyhounds off the score sheet for a while, almost the entire first period. Now the Greyhounds have the lead 13-12 in the remaining minute and 32 seconds. Coming out of the timeout, same guys as it's been all game. Atkinson, Bear, Antuano, Vizcarrondo, Bowman, and Cook. Coach Sedembrino, Coach Avanzato drawing something up coming out of this timeout. The ball's going to start with, I believe it's Bowman here. Yep, here's Bowman out in the left alley. Antuano's up top. Bear will start inside. Be ready for the exchange between Bowman and Bear. Bear will be popping out at some point. Still waiting on it. A minute and 25 seconds. 65 on the shot clock. Here's Antuano. Antuano with the bouncer, left hand, misses wide. Antuano a little slow to get up. Bear will take over the top center position now. Atkinson to bring it in off the end line. Here's Cook. Now to Bear. Bear to go at his defender. Back to his right hand. The pass inside.
Whoa.
Great look there, and what a save by Parks to keep it out of the cage. Antuano with a golden look inside. Just seems like Bear and Antuano always know where each other are in the field. Haven't played together almost their entire lives. Here's Bear again. Slipping on the cutback. We'll find Cook. To Atkinson. 55 on the clock. Similar to the Coward Hall game, they need a goal. Time's running out. 50 seconds. Here's Antuano. Antuano to his left. Left-handed shot misses high. Back up to stay with the Crusaders. 44.6 seconds left. 35 on the shot clock. Almost identical to the Coward Hall game, actually. Similar time. They were just down a few more goals. Only need one. Here's Antuano. Top center by himself. Down the right with his hands free. Scores! Antuano coming up big in the final seconds. Finally, the Crusaders able to tie it up. 33.4 seconds left. Crusader bench explodes off the goal there from Antuano.
Press box explodes from that.
We all got hype up here.
Thomas and Kim back at the X. This is the most important face-off of the game so far.
Whatever team wins the face-off here, expect a very quick timeout from their coaching staff. Ball in the middle here. Thomas and Kim were locked up. Big face-off here. Kim had it picked up. Fell on the ground, still on the ground here.
Laying
on the ball. Withholding called on the Greyhounds. The Crusaders will get the ball. Malfa is down with a cramp, it looks like. So the officials will call it dead as the Greyhounds come out to check on their junior.
20 seconds left in this game.
19.7 seconds left. Would not be surprised if they threw a few more seconds on for just the runoff at the end of it. Okay, now that they got a little opportunity to talk it over here with the injured Malfa, I would suspect that the Crusaders do not take a timeout here. Bear will start with the ball, 19.7 seconds left. I would say they would hold it for the last shot, but this is probably around the time they would go to the goal anyway. The Greyhounds sitting in their zone, asking for an outside shot. Here's Bear to the left hand with the shot, misses wide, back up to stay with Atkinson. 13.6 seconds left on the clock. Shot clock does not matter here. Aintuano to pick it up. Guarded here by Pollard. Aintuano, 12 seconds, 11 seconds to his left hand around the goal. Shoots and scores! How about Aintuano? Tying it up and getting the leader. 9.5 seconds left in the game. Somebody's got to stop 5.
Aintuano single-handedly putting the Crusaders back in the game. Now they just have to hold the Greyhounds off for this last 9 seconds.
Tuano's hot, boys. Somebody stop him. Here's Thomas. Elder and Clary both on all the way down here on the wings, trying to stop any fast break opportunity. Cook tied up here with Kim, just trying to keep the ball on the ground. RT's going to come out of here with the ball. Right to Pelter. Pelter will chuck it up in the air, and the time expires here. Crusaders come out with the win. Dramatic finish here at the end of the game. Aintuano with the game-tying goal and the game winner. St. Paul's coming out of here with a win, 14-13 over the Greyhounds. Excellent match by both sides.
Very hard-fought game for both teams, but the Crusaders come out with the dub by 1 point.
Another huge one
in the
playoff hopes for the Crusaders, coming off of the Calvert Hall loss. This one was really important for them to do so. Thanks to Aintuano and the rest of his teammates. The Crusaders coming out of here with a 14-13 win. We thank you for listening here on SPSN. Max Levesque, Beckett Stevens with you. We will be back this Friday at home for St. Paul's against Spalding here at 4:15.